Previously on Alonso's way. So we're revving up to 5 red lights here at Monaco, and it's lights out, and away we go. And I think Felipe Massa's going to get a jump on us here. Yes, he is going to go side by side with Massa, and he gets ahead of us and going into first corner. We're going into first corner. We've not locked up our brakes, but we've gone too wide, and we've hit the wall, and we've proper clipped the wall. And I think we've suffered a rear left punch, and we've got some front wing damage on the last lap. It was dead close, but unfortunately we're going to come across the line for 18th place at Monaco, which is very disappointing.
It's nearly 10 o'clock in the morning here in Canada, where today's practice session marks the start of this weekend's Canadian Grand Prix. It's always enjoyable coming to Montreal as it produces an exciting weekend's racing. High speeds and tough corners means there's always a chance of a driver losing their front wing, going off into an escape road, or even heading into the gravel.
Well, the Wall of Champions always seems to catch one or two drivers out because of how close they get to it as they arrive at such high speed. We can probably expect to see someone end up there over the course of the weekend.
A few of the drivers have mentioned how important it will be to look after their rear tyres here. I know the Sauber and Toro Rosso guys are particularly worried about how they're going to manage that, as it's perhaps one of the areas they're still trying to get on top of.
Lots of low-speed exits means the rears are in for a lot of punishment. It's all too easy to spin them up coming out of a corner too aggressively. It might look great for us as spectators, as we love to see a car driven beyond its limits, but it's not going to result in a great long-run pace.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Alonso's Way, episode 7. We're at Canada, and at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. I think I pronounced that correctly. See, going into the last corner, he catches in practice, as per usual. Obviously, we show the first few laps of practice, and obviously then move on to quality, and obviously the race. Now obviously, like I said, the videos are short usually, and I'm trying to keep them under 20 minutes, but there's something about this episode that for some weird reason when it comes to editing it all, I've tried to edit it as much as possible and as best as possible, and it's still just over 20, so apologies for the lengthy episode. I promise the next one will be shorter. Anyhow, as you can see, coming into sector 1 now, not too bad I suppose so far. We've actually got a decent setup on the car, and I believe the AI are okay. They're not bad, but they're not like dominant, you know, blistering really quick, so I reckon we are able to catch them. But as you can see, going this corner, as I probably mentioned in one of my previous videos before, I think it was VPRL highlights, there's one of those corners where you can never get it right, and when you do get it right it feels satisfying. But as you see, Alonso's locked up his brakes coming into the hairpin, and luckily it's not like time trial, so it doesn't invalidate your lap for going off track. Obviously he didn't gain any time, just lost a couple of tenths. But activating DRS now, and this is where obviously this is where we get hammered. Now, thanks to the setup, we've actually managed to get a decent speed coming down here. We get a decent speed coming down here, and obviously getting on. There's 2 DRS zones, so it's like you've got the back straight, and then you've got the main start finish one. Coming across the line though, it's going to be a 1:16.313. And moving on to the next lap. At the end of the next lap, we actually improve. See, coming through the final corner, we've actually got Hulkenberg in his Force India. I did try to get past him with DRS, but I see we just right up his gearbox, and we come across the line. We improved slightly to 1:16.273, so it was pretty decent. I see we're quicker than Vettel, so that's a pretty good sign. And I think in a minute you just see the leaderboards change, so we've now got, I think, yeah, Ricciardo and then Massa. So I hope you guys have enjoyed practice. I'll now hand you over to the qualifying report with the commentators.
Hello and welcome from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, home to the Canadian Grand Prix, for today's qualifying session. The Canadian Grand Prix has been dominated over the years by Ferrari, McLaren and Williams. They have over 30 wins between them, so I expect a good showing from all of those teams here again today.
That's true, but Mercedes have such a strong package this year, it would surely be a mistake to rule them out of a chance of winning. However, Montreal is a very different type of circuit though, where you have to run the lowest downforce settings of the season so far. It's also extremely hard on brakes, so it's all to play for in today's session.
Right, so qualifying time for the Canadian Grand Prix. I see going across the line to start a qualifying lap. Immediately, the Williams of Bottas is at the front, but obviously that's going to change into Hamilton and Rosberg, or one of them. But by the looks of it, it's going to be Hamilton. As you see, Hamilton's Mercedes power is obviously just going to help him in the big time in this circuit, because obviously we've got a lack of power, but even though the straights are where we're going to get hampered the most, we can still keep up with him through corners. As you can see, coming to sector 1. Only 2.5 tenths behind, so that's not so bad. See, with P3 and then P5. We do keep slipping up and down the leaderboards, you'll notice in the top left. So I think we go, I see these are at the top, it was P12 when we came through the first set of 2 corners, so not too bad. We pick up a few places going through that corner there, which I don't like, but I was quite satisfied that I got it right during qualifying. Unlike in practice, I think I have cut the corner too much, or you know, I steered in too early or whatever, so I'm glad I didn't do that on the qualifying. I got the timing just right. Opening the DRS zone, is it DRS flat for the DRS zone, first one. So we're currently P8, P9 even. Going into the last few corners, obviously we gained quite a few positions. Obviously Hamilton's going super slow, but luckily we're going to keep P5. We're going to come to a line, and just before the line, I think you might have noticed, but I think we're P6 because somebody's pipped us to it. Alonso seems happy though, so can't argue with that. It's not like he's 18th and he's happy, so pass you over to the commentators.
What a session it's been for Mercedes today. They've locked the front row of the grid for tomorrow's race.
It's been a great session for the team. They've really been pushing hard to make this happen, and their hard work has been rewarded.
So that's the end of qualifying. As you can see, we did actually get beat by Valtteri Bottas in the end by, I think, just short of 200ths of a second, so not great, but hey, third row of the grid, I'm still pretty happy with that result. As you see, Mercedes lock out, then Ferrari dominate the middle row. We split the Williams again like we did in Monaco. Daniel Ricciardo again 8th, Lotus of Grosjean 9th, Nasa 10th, Button only coming 18th, which is a shocker. Both mines obviously fill in the back row. Danny Kvyat's still not got used to that Red Bull, I don't think, because he's starting 17th. And both Force India start outside the top 10, so they've got their work cut out for them. Also note is the 2 Toro Rossos as well, and the Sauber of Ericsson, so they've got a lot of work to do tomorrow, but I'll pass you back over to the commentators.
It's nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it's time to go racing here in Montreal. The Grand Prix de Canada was a firm favourite of Michael Schumacher, who won here a record 7 times. Many of our drivers today would be really happy just to win it once. On pole today is Lewis Hamilton. The Mercedes was dominant during qualifying, and with the power unit advantage, well, you just can't see anybody challenging for that race win today.
When we spoke to him earlier, he felt that this was a great opportunity to go on and win, but he knows he still has plenty of work to do. Anything can happen in the race, so you have to keep your feet on the ground until you take the checkered flag.
Hoping to build on their impressive performance last time out will be Ferrari. The last Grand Prix saw their best result of the season. It's a performance that they'll want to match, or even better this time out.
It was a good performance, but it was just one race. If they want to maximise their potential in the Constructors Championship, they'll need to produce that kind of form more often between now and the season's end.
Right, so it's race day here at Canada, and as you can see, I'm just going to quickly load my setup. Have a look at race strategy though. I think we've got obviously 2 options of options and primes, so I think rather than going, as you can see, I'm looking at both, but I think even though there might be a strategic option to go for the primes, I think starting on the options would be easier, so we're just going to start on the options for today's race rather than do the primes. Obviously we'll stop for primes at late during the race, midway. Let's go for the start of the race. Revving up to 5 red lights here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada, and lights are out and we're away. And we're actually still squeezed. We're actually going to get a bit held up by Raikkonen in front, and that allows Massa to go around the outside of us. As you can see, he's right next to us. And I see that Ferrari and that Williams are going to pull away, but we're going to be side by side with Massa, sort of. He gets ahead of us. I thought, well, maybe try and get the place back, but didn't want to risk too much because it's only the first lap. I don't want to cause an incident. Well, coming into this corner, he actually really slowed down. I actually was lucky not to clip him. and we actually get back past him again because of that, because of him slowing down. So not bad really. I mean, it was a bit weird that he did that, because I thought during the actual race when he did it, I thought, why did he do that? And I noticed that not all the AI, it was probably just the once where that happened. All the AI seemed to be a bit quicker coming around that corner, and didn't brake that much, so a bit weird. But then again, it's probably because it's the first lap. But as you can see, we've got Bottas and Raikkonen in front. As you can see at the bottom, there's a low chance of rain approaching. Whether that'll spice up the race later on, I don't know. But obviously now, Massa's obviously going to get past us. This is without DRS. This is only the first lap. Obviously he'll get past us. We're getting his dirty air. I'm going to go to the inside, and surprisingly the AI brakes super early, so getting back past them is quite a breeze on that corner. And as you can see, obviously only lap 1, but Hamilton still sets the fastest lap of the race. But you're actually going to ride on board for the next lap as well. Only so far though, just because of something. Not going to spoil it, but you probably can guess already. But as you can see, we've got Bottas and Raikkonen in front. Massa's actually a bit dropped back a little bit. And as you see, the three front runners, which is Vettel, Rosberg and Hamilton, I believe, are actually dominating up front. We're actually going to go down the inside of Bottas here. Actually cut the corner a slight bit. I'm going to try and go around his outside. We're actually now going to go wheel to wheel with the Finnish driver in his Mercedes-powered Williams, which obviously has got a better engine and everything. But we're going to hold it around the outside. We're going to take 5th place off Bottas during that corner that I don't like. But going to lap 3 now, we've got Raikkonen in front. It's actually going to lap 4 now. As you can see, Raikkonen's going super slow through that last corner. We've got DRS. We're actually going to go side by side with Kimi Raikkonen. And it's going to be a duel down to the first corner. He's going to brake latest, and it would have been us. Most likely, if he braked at the same time as us, we wouldn't have kept that position. But moving on to lap 8, all on to lap 8, he actually took quite a few laps to catch Vettel. But unfortunately, this is actually our pit lap. So what you're about to see is, unfortunately, I didn't realise that Vettel was going to brake that early. As you can see, I was going to put myself like flat out. See, the Mercedes are 2-stopping, which is not a great idea. Hamilton being the first to get pitted. He'll come out right behind us, so we won't get held up in the process. We're going to get the tyres fitted, and we're actually going to come out in front of Rosberg. So we've actually jumped, we've actually gained a place on Rosberg, which is unfortunate for him. And when I came across the line the next time, around, you know, end of lap 9, come on to lap 10, I actually came across the line. I was actually 3rd, so we actually jumped. I think we hadn't jumped Vettel, I don't think, but we jumped Rosberg, so that was all great. Moving on to lap 10 though, and we've actually managed to catch up to the back of Vettel. He's actually going super slow. We're going to try and catch him off guard here, I don't know, but we're going to try and go side by side with him. Going into the hairpin here and actually lock up my brakes, and surprisingly, I make the move stick. Now, unfortunately, because of my power, you know, the shortage of power that I've got on the engine, that even though I've got DRS here and the flap is wide open, Vettel's still able to get past us just about. But we're going to hold it around the inside for this last hairpin. As I said, they seem to brake quite early for that corner, so I think that's why. I don't know. But moving on to lap 13, this is where it gets interesting. So the guy in front, Lewis Hamilton, is going to make a bit of an interesting end to this race. As you can see, we're on lap 13, coming on to lap 14 now. We're going to cross the line. We're actually going to try and take 1st place off of Lewis Hamilton in his Mercedes. And we managed to get him and take the lead of the race, take the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix, which is all well and fine and everything. And moving on to lap 14 though, going into the hairpin though, I really mess up here. I actually go a bit wide. I give him the room and everything, so he is able to get past, but I actually realised that if I stuck as close as I could to him, like going side by side around the hairpin, I might have had a chance about keeping up with him. Obviously I have no DRS, so what I'm getting is just pure slipstream, even though I'm quite far back. Going into the last, I think it's the last chicane now, and near the Wall of Champions, we're not going to get DRS, but as you can see, his flap's wide open, and we're still managing to keep up, which is great. But going into the first corner, we actually brake a bit later than him, and we go side by side around through the first corner. But as you can see, we get pushed onto the grass by Lewis Hamilton, which is not fair play in my opinion. I'm sure the stewards will be looking at that after the race. Coming on to the end of lap 16 though, and yet again we're going to give it another try at trying to get past Lewis Hamilton. This time we're the ones that have got DRS. And going into the first corner, how are we going to get 1st place? And we cross over onto the other side of the track to get to get the inside line for the corner, and we actually get first place. But I just wanted to show you this bit actually. Now, despite what it's obviously on the last 2 laps. Now we're going to show you all the way from the end of this lap all the way on to lap 18. So this is for the race decider. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton going through that last corner. We actually managed to go side by side with him near enough for about 3/4 of the corner until he backed off. And obviously, like I said, we're going to stay on board with Fernando Alonso as he goes through the last lap of this race in the lead at a race where McLaren doesn't have the strongest engine. It doesn't have the best top speed. In fact, I think it has the lowest. It has lower than Mana. But still, I mean, as you can see, the clouds are getting darker. The chance of rain might be too little, too late. So it might, if the rain came a bit earlier, then we might have had a bit of a, it might have spiced up the race a bit more in these last few laps. But unfortunately, the clouds did not rain. They didn't, cease the rain, and unfortunately they did get darker, but they never rained once, unfortunately. So, which was all fine and dandy because we didn't really want much rain coming. We didn't want rain coming at the end of the race, but thankfully, as you can see, Hamilton's actually out of DRS zone. But obviously, I keep thinking that line there at the end of the hairpin, I thought that was a DRS zone, so I was a bit worried. He never got within DRS range. Obviously, as you can see on the minimap, the DRS zone's quite far back, and I've actually expanded the map. But coming through the last corner, is Lewis Hamilton gonna get us on the final lap on the final corners? It doesn't look like it. And Fernando Alonso will take his 2nd win with McLaren-Honda at Canada.
What a performance by Fernando Alonso. The crowd really enjoyed that result and the podium celebrations. It's another race win to add to his collection.
It was a brilliant performance, and when you drive like that, the feeling of winning is even sweeter.
It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye.
And there we have it. A smashing Canadian Grand Prix. We managed to beat both Mercedes on pure pace. Neither of them retired, so it was nice to see we actually managed to beat them. As you can see there, the gap in the end was 1.3 seconds, despite how much Hamilton tried to catch us on that last lap. Rosberg finished down in 4th. Vettel, well, pretty much finished where he started. Raikkonen finished 5th. Bottas finished 6th. Massa, Ricciardo, Grosjean and Nasser all finished where they started. Verstappen moved up to 11th, but neither Toro Rosso scoring, neither Force Indias as well, I should point out. Grosjean managed to score for Lewis. As you can see, our teammate Jenson Button there finished down in 18th. As you can see, both Manos obviously finishing 19th and 20th. And surprisingly, nobody retired from that race, so that was pretty good for the whole field to finish finish the whole race, which was great. Danny Kvyat obviously finished 16th there, so not great for him in this Red Bull. But it was nice to see that Ricciardo managed to score some points for Red Bull. Onto the drivers though, and as you can see, Rosberg still leads by 3 points from Vettel, so because he finished behind Vettel, Vettel was able to gain on him, so it might be Vettel's title rather than ours, but we'll give it a shot. As you can see, we're now on 107 points and we're at exactly 1 race win behind Rosberg. This means that if Rosberg retires in Austria, which is the next race, we can take the title, like, the lead in the championship, which is pretty good. See, Raikkonen 4th, Bottas 5th, Hamilton 6th. Nobody really moved up or down on the leaderboards. It was just like the top 3, I think. I don't even know if everybody moved, but I see the 2 Manos still not scoring any points. Ericsson and so on haven't scored. Danny Kvyat's still the last one of the point scorers. But Force India's not having a great time either, with Perez not scoring at all so far this season. Hulkenberg only scoring 6 points, so it's not great for their title championship, is it? Constructors Championship, I mean. But moving on to the Constructors, we've actually managed to get back past Williams again, so we're now 3rd once more. Ferrari have extended their lead at the top of the table. The gap's now 29 points to Mercedes between Ferrari and Mercedes. We're down in 3rd with 102 points behind. Williams is half of what Ferrari have scored. Literally, Ferrari's 213, half it is 106.5, but count it's the nearest point, it's about 107, but still, they've got less than half. You see Red Bull still 5th, Lotus 6th, Toro Rosso 7th, Sauber 8th. I think it was, I want to say, who's 9th? I think it was Force India, I'm not sure, and then Monaco is the last one, so not great for some of the teams, but at the moment we're doing quite well. And apart from that, that's the end of episode 7 for Alonso's Way. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I apologise for the lengthy episode, but you know, sometimes these things happen. Anyway, I'll see all you guys for Austria, where hopefully we might be able to get another win, but I don't know. I'll try my best. Alonso will try his best, but until next time, I've been Viper Racing. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for watching Alonso's Way, and I'll see you guys in Austria. Ta-ra!